walking away from the bar. I start walking around the corner or whatever. I start leaving the bar. I walk around the corner. I get on Rio Grande. I hear a girl saying, "Get the fuck off me! Get the fuck off of me! Get the..." And then it was like a muffled like scream at the top of her lungs. It was like almost as if, like, you know that sound when like somebody put a pillow or something over your mouth, and then like, or like if you was to scream right now at the top of your lungs and you put a pillow over your mouth and scream, how that would sound. That's what I heard. I heard that shit clear as day. I heard that when I was leaving the bar. And so I'm thinking after all of that shit happened that night, I'm thinking, so apparently where the girl died at. Now mind you, like the weather changes everything. So like it was not loud at this particular time when I was on Rio Grande. There was not a lot of people outside. Either they were on Sixth or already in their whatever parties that they were having. So it was not loud on Rio Grande at all. As a matter of fact, I'm close to it, and I can go down Rio Grande right now at 6:41 p.m. and it's still it's pretty moderately quiet on Rio Grande. That's not like where any parties or I mean like any like loud shit is going on the regular. But anyway, that's what I heard. I heard a girl, and then so that kind of traumatized me a little bit because ultimately I made a decision that before I go and kick down the door or go start running into a house party, I need to make sure I know where that sound was coming from, and I was not able to locate where that sound was coming from, and I was also not able to call the police and tell them what I heard because my phone was dead. So I kept walking, and you know, I'm just telling people that I'm walking past what I just heard, and people are telling me like it's okay. Um, I hope your night gets better. I'm sorry you're having a terrible night. No, but I'm sitting there like, look, like I know that like this is a lot to put on you, and I know we don't know each other, but I just heard basically like in my head someone being forced into something. That's what I thought I heard. Anyway, I leave. I keep walking, and I get all the way down Guadalupe, and by the almost by Black's Barbecues, the Sheba Hut, and um, there's three guys out there, and I'm like, I never do this. I don't even like talking that much. I don't really like, especially like meeting new people at this point. And I go up to them and I'm like, look, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I just had a crazy night, and but the main thing that's standing out to me is that I just heard what it sounded like a girl being like attacked. And so all three of them just looked at me and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro." Immediately, the whole group just broke up and was like, "All right, like it's time to go home," type shit. As I started telling them like what I just heard. Anyway, so next day I hear somebody jump off of a 17th floor, or I hear now the story is coming out that this Brianna Aguilera person was like committed suicide or whatever. And I just can't help but think like at the time when I was walking on Rio Grande that I heard her screaming that somebody attacking her, and then next thing I know, like I just feel like it's all really a cover up, and I'm dead ass serious about that. So if you're trying to figure out what the point of me making this video is, basically what I'm trying to say is when I was walking down Rio Grande and I heard those screams, and I've been in a lot of like kind of messed up situations. I'm just being completely honest with you, and I don't even like showing my face on camera. I don't like talking on camera, none of this. I'm being completely honest with you. Those screams that I heard, it did something to my soul. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like nobody having a good time. It didn't feel like nobody that was just like drunk or just getting in a fight screaming. The scream sounded like someone was forcing their way onto this girl, and maybe she was outnumbered or out strength, or somebody was stronger, and like basically like found a way to like silence her scream. And so I can't 100% say that this is what happened to the girl that ended up passing, and my condolences to her family or whatever. But all I know is this is what at that around that time of night when I left that bar and when I heard those screams, and then from what I heard the next day, and then the stories came out after, it just I knew my spirit was just telling me like that that could very possibly be that girl that you heard screaming or whatever. Now, when they're saying like she got in a fight or whatever, um, I don't know. Maybe she could have gotten a fight with somebody, and she could have been saying, "Get the fuck off me," because they were trying to break the fight up. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just being objective. But from what I heard, it did not sound like she was like in an altercation with somebody. From what I heard, or I can't even like really say it was her, but from what I heard, it sounded like somebody was being taken advantage of, and there was a party going on around her, and like nobody cared. And that's how close I was to the location where it happened. Nobody cared. Nobody in that whole place where that was happening gave a damn. And it was maybe like three dudes and a girl standing outside, and they stopped and was like, "What the fuck?" And then they laughed it off. And so, yeah, that is how my weekend over the past maybe 4 or 5 days turned out. And so I hope this. I'm not talking to the police. I don't talk to the police. That's not something that I do. But I hope y'all can do with this information as you please or whatever.